Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Sarah Brewer reporting news from around the Columbia Basin for Wednesday, October 9th. Tonight, we report on the Moses Lake City Council's indecision on a sidewalk abatement resolution and an arrest that triggered a school lockdown in Ephrata. In sports, Bob Kirkpatrick reports on Columbia Basin High School soccer and volleyball. Our spotlight story tonight is about a homeless shelter possibly opening in Moses Lake. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story tonight, it's unknown whether Moses Lake will give a man suffering from cancer 9 months to fix his sidewalk. Ward Wombolt asked the City Council to give him more time to fix the sidewalk in front of his property during the hearing on Tuesday. The council chose to table a resolution to have the city fix the sidewalk and charge Wombolt. The issue revolves around the sidewalk in front of Wombolt's property at 1903 West Marina Drive. He is presently trying to fix the mobile home park after former tenants damaged some units and needs to repair more units so people can rent them before the property starts making money.
Because of my circumstances, I'm teetering on bankruptcy on this property. And this all happened while I was fighting cancer, still am. And to have to pay for the sidewalk at this time would probably put me over the edge. I couldn't recover from it. I don't have the money to repair the sidewalk at this time.
After the initial notice, the city began fining the property owner, and he now owes $5,000 in fines, which he learned about at the meeting. The council tabled the resolution until they could find more information. For more on the story, visit us online at ifiber1.com/news. A U.S. Marshals Service arrest in Ephrata led to a suspect barricading himself in the attic of a G Street home. The U.S. Marshals Service and the Grant County Sheriff's Office received information Alejandro Rodriguez, a 21-year-old Ephrata man, was at the home located at the corner of G Street and Division Avenue Tuesday afternoon. Ephrata Police Chief Mike Warren said Rodriguez was wanted for a Department of Corrections warrant for a failure to comply with a DUI. When police went out to arrest Rodriguez about 2:30 p.m., he refused to come out of the residence, instead going into the attic and barricading himself inside. The action led police to close the intersection, Warren said. Officers were able to talk Rodriguez out of the residence after 45 minutes. Ephrata Police assisted with the arrest. The standoff triggered a lockdown of Columbia Ridge Elementary School and Sage Hills High School in Ephrata. School officials held students for about 15 minutes until police contacted them to inform them they could release students as long as they avoided the intersection. Warren pointed out law enforcement had information about Rodriguez's location at the time and wanted to capture him before he left the area. Amanda McMahon will serve community service after admitting to using her clients' credit cards to pay bills and purchase items. The 33-year-old former owner of MosesLakeTalk.com pleaded guilty to identity theft in the second degree in Grant County Superior Court. Prosecutors initially charged McMahon with identity theft in the first degree, but the charge was lessened as part of a plea agreement. Grant County Superior Court Judge John Nodell followed the prosecutors and defense attorney's recommendation, sentencing McMahon to 80 hours of community service. A hearing on restitution will be held later, according to court records. Burlington Northern Santa Fe is offering a $5,000 reward to help catch whoever fired at a freight train west of Quincy. Spokesman Gus Malonis told the Wenatchee World newspaper the engine was hit 15 times by shots fired from a car that followed the train on September 24th. Shots were fired from 3 locations. The engineer and conductor on the train were not hurt. The railroad is working with investigators from the Grant and Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the Washington State Patrol. Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the DOC asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We'll be back after these messages with the latest from our iFIBER One Weather Center, sports, and more news.